Auden Larratt versus Aabhas Rana again? Oh no. At least give him some years. He just lost to the likes of Satnam Singh, an 80 kg Indian arm wrestler, and he's 107 kg. How can he face Auden? Auden has been going from one level to the other in the last year. So please discard this idea for once and for all, at least for a few months or 1 or 2 years. You remember what happened with the Korean Hulk? This guy was supposed to be hugely strong, almost invincible in Korea, and he had defeated so many stalwarts, not those from the famous arm wrestlers, but some good Korean or Asian arm wrestlers. And what happened? Auden took him out mercilessly, flash pins one after the other. And honestly, this Korean Hulk, he is way more stronger, way more accomplished and experienced than Aabhas Rana. So again, talks about an Aabhas Rana Auden match do not make any sense.
Auden Larratt versus Aabhas Rana. That is going to be Auden's next match. Things cannot get more ridiculous than this. I know I will face a lot of flack from many people, especially the Indians. However, please remember this video if the Auden Larratt versus Aabhas Rana match does actually materialize. I am an Indian and would be really proud if Abbas is getting this type of international exposure. However, I cannot circumvent the truth. And the truth, the reality is, this is a complete mismatch. Now coming back to the main topic, Auden fought and decimated the Korean Hulk in the recently concluded King of the Table tournament. There was a huge amount of misinformation fed to us about the Korean Hulk. That he is a 15-year veteran in the sport of arm wrestling. He was the top Korean arm wrestler, and he is a huge celebrity in the world of AM wrestling in his country. We all believed all this and expected a real hard-fought match. The reality was, he had not arm wrestled in the past 6 or 7 years. He was more of a bulk than a hulk. His arm length and his hands were much smaller than Auden's, giving Auden a huge leverage advantage. And Auden had way more table time than the Korean Hulk in the last 2 years. More table time and quality table time. None of these information were disclosed to us. It was an easy win for Auden. Now very recently, Devon has said Auden's next opponent might be Aabhas Rana of India, who is a WAF world champion. Well, that is kind of stretching the truth. Aabhas is not yet an adult, he's just 16 and a half years old. He won the sub-junior championship a year back when he was 15 and a half years or even lesser. He is 5 feet 9 inches and weighs around 106 kilos, which is around 233 pounds. Auden is also of the same weight. Auden is 6 feet 4 inches and 20 years old. Aabhas has like 4 years of arm wrestling practice, and Auden has around 8 years of arm wrestling practice. Aabhas per Christ with really low-level arm wrestlers. They do not feature in the top 1,000 if a ranking list were to be put out. Auden has table practice with strong arm wrestlers who are technically sound and arm wrestle at a serious level regularly. Other than that, Auden has been traveling extensively with his dad in the past 2 years, thus getting to pull almost all the elite arm wrestlers of the world, and more importantly, learn from them. The coaching Auden has had is thousands of leagues ahead of what Aabhas has had. Aabhas is a great future Indian potential, no doubt. I will not call him an international potential, simply because there is no evidence of that yet. But right now, he is no match for Auden. Auden has extensive table practice with the best arm wrestlers in the world. Auden has the most scientific training available at his disposal. He has the best coach in the world, Mr. Devon Larratt himself. Auden also had coaching from Engin Terzi. Other than that, Auden has a good pool of very good arm wrestlers to practice with in his locality. The Ottawa High Hookers has many arm wrestlers who are really good. On the other hand, Aabhas is still not developed physically. He is still growing. He doesn't have too many good pullers to practice with. The best Indian arm wrestler, Mazhar Saidu, who lives in Dubai, lost to Coach Ray. So you can pretty well understand that India still does not have really good arm wrestlers as far as the international level is concerned. And the 6 or 7 Indian arm wrestlers who can actually give a good practice to Aabhas Rana are located far away from where Aabhas lives. Aabhas mostly practices in a homemade gym in his attic. He has become a social media sensation in India because of his WAF win last year in 2023 and because of his wins against most arm wrestlers in India. But you have to realize that those arm wrestlers are nowhere near the level we get to see in East versus West or King of the Table or in the other international pay-per-view cards. Aabhas had a practice pull with Ryan Bowen, and Ryan could easily hold on to Aabhas without much effort and beat him multiple times in a top roll. And this was a recent pull. Ryan Bowen is the strongest arm wrestler that Aabhas Rana has pulled against till date, and Ryan Bowen easily beat him, as I said, and I'm pretty confident that Auden could win against Ryan. I'm not drawing a mathematical equation, but Aabhas is much weaker than Ryan. And if Ryan cannot win against Auden, what are the chances of Aabhas? When an arm wrestling match is organized, the aim should always be to make it a competitive match, unless it is for a championship belt which is open to the strongest contender. I would be the proudest and happiest to say that the Aabhas versus Auden match is going to be a really exciting match. Yes, it has raised curiosity, and it will get a lot of buys and views, I am sure. The Auden versus Korean Hulk match also raised a lot of curiosity and viewer interest. But sadly, this is going to be a complete no contest, just like the match with the Korean Hulk. Auden will win 3-0 or 4-0, depending on whether it will be a best of 5 or a best of 6. And mark my words, all will be flash pins or super comfortable wins for Auden. I would specially request my fellow Indians not to keep any expectations from Aabhas from this match. That is, if this match really takes place. Aabhas has a lot to develop and learn before he can be a real threat to the likes of Auden Larratt, Adam Wawzinski, or Chance Shaw. Some Indians are saying that Aabhas is the Bacho Saginashvili of India. Now, come on. Bacho is a prodigy of nature. Bacho is a freak of nature. Bacho is going to be the undisputed champion in the super heavyweight in the next 6 years, even if he does not bulk up to the super heavyweight category. John Brezink never bulked up to the super heavyweight category, but he beat everybody in the world in his heydays. Bacho is going to emulate that feat. Aabhas is never, ever going to be a Bacho. So let us not hype up matches just for the sake of pay-per-view buys. Keep the expectations realistic. Auden should really not pull Aabhas. If you Indians are thinking why I am against this match instead of being proud as an Indian, that is exactly the reason. I do not wish to see an Indian lose 6-0 or 5-0, that too in flash pins in front of the entire arm wrestling world. That would affect the psyche of Aabhas Rana severely. Hence, I feel this match should not take place. Aabhas should face more international arm wrestlers of his standard for at least 1 year, make himself stronger, and then face Auden when he is at least above 18. That way, he will be a more improved arm wrestler by that time, and his body will also attain full growth. He is still in the growing phase. Instead, if Auden would pull someone like Schoolboy, it might be a good match. At this point, they are quite evenly matched. Thank you all for watching. I am really grateful, friends of the arm wrestling world. Please subscribe.
Moreover, Aabhas recently lost to someone called Satnam Singh, who is around 80 kgs. On top of that, he also lost a left arm match to somebody totally unknown. So no, no, no. Aabhas Rana versus Auden Larratt does not make any sense.